All right, so we've completed most of the pixel work and shape manipulation that we're going to do now, and we're ready to move on to the next stages of cleanup. And one thing I like to do is keep all of these tools and things that I've made in a folder at the top because they're not really parts of the image, but I might continue to return to them. They're definitely useful assets that are part of the construction and the work here. So I'm just going to put those in their own group and call them assets. It's usually how I keep that. Because I always like coming back and forth to the original too, to see where I've come from. So what I can also put in this assets folder is markup. Sometimes I will even do my own markup on a file, especially if I'm in a sort of time-sensitive situation and I need to move fast and systematically and not make errors. I'll make notes for myself in my file, and I'll just show you real quickly how I do that. I'm going to go to the brush. Just going to get it to kind of my markup size, and I choose a different color. I usually choose a bright color because I like to really be able to see what's going on. Sometimes green, sometimes red. Sometimes blue. Let's use green in this case because there's no green in the shoe, so we'll be able to see it better. You can also change your brush size with the brackets again. That's really useful. So I'm going to start just marking up stuff that I see. I think there is some sort of like warbling here that I think could get cleaned up. And I just kind of circle stuff. There's a sort of a value change right here. Maybe a little bit right there. Just looking for variation. We just want to continue to do, to smooth out the shoe and idealize all the forms. This is kind of weird here where this meets the swoosh. This might come down just a little bit. I mean, I understand my own markup, but it's kind of like my own, so you'll have to develop yours. But I just tend to circle things. Definitely want to clean up all the laces. There's some junk on the edge. Usually is. Always got to clean up the lace holes. And standard, I won't go through and just mark up every single little speck of dust that I see because I'm just going to go through the image. That's just something that I know to do, that you should know to do, that just dust comes off because there's some in there too. It's always up for debate on these shoes because a lot of the material will have sort of like this embedded sparkle and embedded kind of, might be because it's a reflective material. And I don't go too far to just completely wipe all spec type stuff out of these materials. But, keep in mind that the client might come back and just be like, remove or reduce all those speckles. So getting into the sole, we definitely want to take out any stuff in there. Kind of want to smooth this area. We'll have to look at how to tackle that because it's kind of weird in there. Sometimes you have to make choices as to what is part of the manufacturing and needs to stay and what is manufacturing error needs to go. Because there's some detail in here that we could at least reduce. I'm definitely going to want to, I don't really like how that looks. We'll have to deal with that. These hairs. And this gargantuan specular highlight here has to go. That looks like a nightmare, but we'll see. I have some tricks that might make that go a lot easier than you might think. Okay, that's a pretty good start. You might go in and do multiple passes even, because once you start peeling back the layers of like junk and specks and dust, you start seeing even more that were under that. There were a lot more, a lot finer, maybe just not that apparent when you first started your cleanup. All right, there's my markup. Now I'm going to move to the next step of preparing this file for the actual cleanup.